So we're going to start in doing a little bit of basic probability today. Okay, so the probability of an event is a number between 0 and 1. This tells us the likelihood that an event will occur. Okay, so an event that is certain to occur has a probability of 1. Okay, so an example of this is choosing from people over 16 years old, all right, a person taller than 1 foot. If you were to go and to find everybody that's 16 years or older, what's the likelihood that you're going to find people that are taller than 1 foot?
A lot.
I mean, there may be an example where somebody's shorter than a foot, but I seriously doubt that. Okay, maybe we should say an inch or something like that. But if you're choosing people that are taller than a foot, of course, every person's going to fit into that. Okay, so the probability of that is 1. It's going to happen. Okay, the probability that an event is certain not to occur has a probability of 0. So kind of going along the same example there, what can we say to make sure that it would not occur?
Choosing 5-year-olds that are taller than 10.
Okay, I heard one that was like exactly what I was thinking, so I'm going to go with that. Okay, so choosing from people over, I should say older than 16 years old. Okay, a person taller than 10 feet. You're not going to find somebody that's taller than 10 feet.
There is a chance.
There's a chance, I suppose, but it's going to be, I mean, it's going to be so close to 0 that it's going to be 0. I mean, it's like there would probably be better chances of winning the lottery a couple times in a row than it would be to find somebody taller than 10 feet. I think they say he was like 9 foot something.
Yeah, he's like 9 foot 5.
Yeah. So you're not going to find people alive today that are taller than 10 feet. Okay, an event that is equally likely to occur or not occur has a probability of 0.5. Okay, so an example of this is flipping a coin and getting heads or tails. Now, you can have a probability anywhere from 0, where it's not going to happen, all the way up to 1, where it is going to happen. And so it goes along this spectrum where 0 is impossible for it to happen, 1 is certain that it's going to happen, and then you can have everything in between there. Alrighty. The probability P of an event is the ratio of successful outcomes called successes to all possible outcomes of the event. So the probability of an event is the number of times it happened over the total number of tries. So probabilities can be written as fractions, as ratios, as decimals, or as percents. Okay, so an example, when you're carrying 6 folders in your backpack, your best friend asks to copy your notes from chemistry class. What's the probability that you'll reach in your backpack and without looking pull out the correct folder? Okay, so first of all, how many total folders are in the backpack?
6.
There's 6 total, there's 6 folders in your backpack. Now, assuming you only have 1 folder per class, you're going to have 1 chemistry folder. So what's the probability of reaching in and pulling out the chemistry folder without looking?
1 6.
Good. 1 out of 6. There's 1 chemistry folder out of a total of 6. So you have a 1/6 chance of pulling out that chemistry folder. All right. Now, so all the different ways. So written as a fraction. Okay. Just like what we said, 1/6. Okay. Written as a ratio, which really these are kind of the same thing, but because you can write ratios in different ways, but it could be written like this, 1/6. Now that can also be written as a decimal. And probably should have chose something besides 6, because this is the one weird time that this happens. This is totally by coincidence, but type in 1 divided by 6 in your calculator and see what it gives to you as a decimal. Okay, and that's totally by coincidence, obviously. When you do 1 divided by 6, it gives you 0.16, which is weird, but that's the way it works. So as a decimal, it's 0.16. Actually, it's 0.16 repeating, so we'll do something like that. Now, written as a percentage, what is that going to be as a percentage?
0.125.
Okay, it's directly related to the decimal. Okay, so from the decimal to the percent, you just move the decimal 2 places, or you multiply it by 100. So it's going to give you, because that's what percent means per 100. So 16.67%. All right, next example. So in this example, they've taken all the clubs out of a standard deck of cards. So you got the 13 standard clubs in this deck of cards. So what's the probability that in this group of cards here, what we've got in this group, what's the probability of choosing a face card out of this?
3 out of 13.
Okay, what is a face card?
King, queen,
or a
jack.
jack.
It's a card with a face on it, right? A normal king would have the king's face, a queen would have a queen's face, a jack would have a jack's face. So the face cards are king, queen, and jack. So there's 3 of those out of a total of 13. Okay, what's the probability that if you choose a card randomly, that you're going to choose a club?
1.
Good. 13 out of 13, which is 1. Which, like what we said on the front, When the probability is 1, that means that it's going to happen. It's certain to occur. It's going to happen. So if you choose out of there and you're looking to pull a club, you're gonna pull a club every time. Okay, what's the probability choosing from that group that you choose an ace? Choosing an ace, what would the probability be?
113.
Would be 1 out of 13. Okay, what's the probability that you pull a spade out of that group?
0.
0 out of 13. There's no spades, so the probability is 0. It's not going to happen. You're not going to pull a spade out of that.